Hello viewer, thank you for joining me today. I'm Dave, the Fugly Vaper, as you can see. And today I want to take a look at the OBS Crius RTA. The OBS Crius, I hear you say, Fugly, that's old hat. Yeah, it is reasonably old hat, I suppose, these days. This was actually the second tank that I had when I started vaping, so but it's still a good one. It's still going strong. I don't use it quite as much as I used to because I'm getting new stuff all the time, and I'm into my drippers more than tanks these days. But hey, it's a nice one if you're looking for it, because I'm sure you can pick these up now at sensible prices, and it's a good tank. It's easy to build on, which I'll show you in a second, and it performs. So anyway, without further ado, we shall go on down onto the desk and I'll show you all the bits and pieces inside it, put a build on it, and come back up, vape on it and talk about it and give you my final thoughts. So I'll see you on the desk in just a second. Right, so here we are with the OBS Crius RTA packaging. That's the front, and that's the one side, RTA OBS, OBS, Crius and Crius. And on the back you get, come along, don't start camera, no, there we go, stainless black and white are the colours it comes in. This is obviously a stainless steel one. Everything for the user experience apparently. There's a few warnings on there, 18 plus, CE mark, blah blah blah, and a QR code. So that's the outer packaging, and on the inner packaging it's exactly the same. You've got OBS RTA product what, Fugly? I've no idea, I can't read it. Product manuals, there you go, and it says Crius there, it's got Crius there, OBS there, OBS there, Crius there, and on the back we have, never a good idea with these clamshells, is it? No, I'll do that in a minute when you've not got loads of reflection on it. Right, and also inside we do get one of these. Try and get a little more in focus for you, if an arc in. Diameter 22mm, 65mm high, 53 grams in weight, 4.2mm tank capacity. The materials, it's made of food grade and heat resistant glass, Pyrex glass. If I can get this in focus, it'd be great, wouldn't it? There you go, focus camera on it. No chance. There you go. 304 high strength stainless steel, organic cotton, and USA made cancel. Then we've got some pictures for filling and juice control and building and wicking. These pictures, by the way, are, come along, of the old original deck. And as you can see, if you've got a Kanga sub tank, it's very much along those lines. Small posts, small gap between the posts, blah blah blah. That was the original configuration, you know, and then they brought out an update to the deck, and then they brought out a velocity style deck, which is the one I've got in here. So you get a bit more stuff about the tank. So yeah, and it's pretty comprehensive. It's not rocket science though. It's an RTA, and if you've got any velocity style decks or velocities, you'll understand exactly how to build on it. In the box you get screwdriver, spare glass, the tank. Underneath you get some goodies, most of mine of which have gone. You get a bag of, I think there was a couple of coils in there, I'm not sure, but you get O-rings and screws in there, a bit of organic cotton in there. They say it's organic cotton, yeah. You get a screwdriver, 4 screws, a set of wire with a set of silicon rings. As I say, most of the bits and pieces have gone because I've been using it. That replacement glass isn't a replacement glass, as you can see. It's a broken glass because some clumsy oaf called Fugly broke his. So I've got one on order. It should be here hopefully in the next day or so. So that's that. Moving on to the tank itself. Let's get a little bit closer here so you can see what's going on. Want some focus, Fugly? Okay. There we go. We've got OBS Crius. You should be able to see, if I can make it work, the juice flow control on here. There we go. Open and closed. Easy to show you on it's on a tank. Comes with a glass drip tip, which I'm not going to take off because the O-rings are a bit precious on it. There is your side fill. Anytime you like today. There's your side fill, either or. It will take dropper bottles. I've got some fat nose bottles that I can get in there. It will take those. Got to be a bit careful with the bigger nozzles, obviously, not to pour it too quick. We'll get it spewing out of the holes. I'm going to shut that off. So yeah, you fills it up. You shuts off the juice control, obviously, and then when you've done it, you shut it up. There you go. And then on the bottom, we've got designed by OBS. There we go. Designed by OBS and Crius. So taking it apart, so that I'll take the drip tip out. So it comes apart completely for cleaning. You've got a drip tip. Right. You then take the base off, and we have the deck. And then we unscrews this bit, and then the glass comes off, and there's the top piece and the top of the chimney. So those are your 5 bits for your OBS. So you've got an O-ring in there, glass on there, you've got an O-ring on top of there, you can see that or not, you see that? Yes, there's an O-ring in there, which obviously goes from the other side of the glass, and the threads are in there. Is that going to play? No. Get some. Here you go. There's your threads that thread on to that bit there. There. Got to eventually. So once it's together, that bit screws on that bit like so. So you've obviously got a piece of glass between those 2 rings. So that on there. Oh, yes. Well, O-ring. There we go. Oh dear, the joys of filming. on there. Come along. Get in there. There we go. One O-ring. One chimney glass assembly. So the bottom O-ring on this drip tip is a little bit precious. You have to tease it in a little bit rather than force it. If you shove it in, you just strip the O-rings. So that's the top of the tank. Obviously, this is the bit you want to know about, isn't it? As I said, if you've ever coiled on a velocity style deck, they're all exactly the same. This is no different, and I've just got a couple of 28 gauge cathode wire, and I've got 11 wraps on each coil. They're not the fanciest of coils, but as you can see, they're over the air holes, as they should be. Pointy thing, fugly. Pointy thing. Yeah, the air holes are underneath the coils. I don't know whether you can see, if I can get a picture for you. I'll endeavour to get a picture for you. Yep, there you go. So there's your air hole underneath the coil there. Same on the other side. There's your air hole down there. To hell with it. There you go. I'll move it out of the way. There's the air hole down there. So, like I say, 11 wraps on these coils. I was going to coil it and wick it on camera, but I thought better of it. Because my thumbs are not working. As you can see, my thumbs are not working great today. And then here we have the wicking channels. We've got one there, one there, one there, and one there. I'm using, for this particular tank, because of its nature, I'm using cotton bacon bits, cotton, simply because I like to tear a piece off, tease it out, and get it nice and fluffy and stretchy and all that kind of stuff. Get it as thin and as gauzy as I can. Just spread it out, stretch it out a little bit. That was probably half that length when I started, and then, like any other cotton, just roll it up a little bit, get a point on one end, feed it through the coil, probably far too much here, but still, never mind. I'm probably going to get two actually. No, whatever. So, right, put the other one in. Done the same with the other piece. I've just flattened it out, pulled it out, teased it up, and got it so that it's fairly light in composition, if you like. And just, there you go. That's going to be a bit better that way. That's a little tight, so we'll come this way. Right. The thing I like about this bacon cotton, you can just more or less make it how you want it as you go. Get it as thick or as thin as you want it. So I'm going to take it from there, I think. See if my scissors work today. Yep. Snip that off. Snip that off. Having said yes, no they don't. Right. Now, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. And I'll try and keep this on camera for you, but I've got to be able to see what I'm doing. So maybe if I go off camera, I'll apologise in advance. Got two choices here really. You can either trim this up to a point, which can help, because obviously I want minimum cotton at the point on the deck where it's going to go through the wick hole, but I want as much cotton inside the coil as I can. So I'm going to cut that to there. It's very short, I know, but I only want that much cotton in that wick hole. I want it just showing. I want to get my pointy things for this because I find these are best for this because you can tease it in. Still on camera, are we? Good. So teased it in there. You can see the cotton in the hole. I've obviously got to keep the rest of the wick inside that ring, because that's where the chimney is going to fit over the top, and the glass is going to fit into that hole there. So the glass fits in there, chimney goes over the top. So as long as you're not stuffing cotton down, I think this will be, certainly for me, it took me a couple of goes to get the wicking right, to put enough in to stop it flooding, but not too much that it choked it up and wouldn't let it wick. And that's the secret, to get enough in. But like everything else you've got, if you're doing your own builds, you trial and error to a certain degree with your wicking methods, your wicking material, coils and whatever else. So having got it in the hole, I want to just tease a bit back from here, from the other side, so I've got some cotton on this side of the deck, and then I'm going to do much the same with the other one. Chop that off, just eyeball it and chop it off to about there. That's looking a bit too much, but I'm going to point it anyway. I should just chop that to a point as well as I did the first one. This is just the way I do it. Obviously there are probably 1,000 ways to do it, probably a lot more pretty and clever than this, but this is how I've been doing it and it's been working for me. So at this point you can't really rush, you've just got to tease it in without going mad at it. So you want just enough in there to stop the juice flooding into the deck, but not so much that it can't get into wick up. But that's probably about right. Keep it nice and light and fluffy in there. If it's thick, again it's not going to wick. I'm a poet, Foggy the poet. If it's thick it's not going to wick. Right, so that's about right. I'll just give that a quick haircut. Right, let me get the gist. So I'm not going to dwell on it now. I'm going to go up and I'll do the other one off camera, and then I'll come back up and see you up top in just a second. So I'll see you up top. Right here, I'm back. Got it all wicked up now. Let's just show you. Doesn't look very pleasant, doesn't look very tidy, but the important thing is I've got wick, or I've got cotton in all of the wick, all of the juiced holes. So I'm going to just pre-wet these coils, as you do, obviously. I did pre-burn the coils in before I started, so it's not that I forgot to pre-burn them in. I didn't. I did forget to tell you what it's aiming out at, but I'll tell you now in a second when I put it on the mod. So I put a little bit, a drop or so in each of those little juice holes, or juice intake holes if you will, juice flow holes, call them what you will, and a little bit on the wicks. I'm using a bit of Yorkshire Vapors jam donut. Honest, I am. Yeah, anyway, that's not exactly majorly important at the moment, is it? Getting this thing to work properly is the important thing. So, bit of wick on the coils, little dob inside each of the juice holes there, so we've got a little dab in, give it a fighting chance. Stick it in to the coil, stick it into the tank, make sure that it fits. As you can see, juice flow is off. Can you see? No, don't be silly fugly, of course we can't see. Right, juice is off. Let me stick it on a mod. Let me stick it on a mod. It's much easier to show you on a mod. Right, juice is off, juice is on, off, on. So I want it off right now, because I'm going to open up the fill hole, insert my nozzle into fill hole and squares. This is a this is a good trick when your thumbs don't want to work. Trust me. So what was the juice capacity again, Fugly? Juice capacity was 4.2 milliliters. Millimeters? 4.2 milliliters. Right, so I'm going to shut the juice fill. Cross your fingers, people. Now is the moment of truth. Open it up. Want some bubbles, Fugly? I know we do. Bubbles. Open up the airflow, see what it does for us. Got bubbles? Yes, just about. Just about. Now then. The only thing I'm going to say that's really a con, as far as I'm concerned, is that on certain mods, this air flow control ring because it's right at the bottom. If your tank is tight onto a mod and it's a very recessed 5, 10, 15, or it's very close and it clamps on tight, this airflow control ring becomes almost impossible to turn, to adjust. But on here and on the keyboard I think it's okay, but there's 1 or 2 mods I've got that it's just too tight on the mod and I just can't turn it. The good news about stuff moving on quickly is that, you know, what was brand new last month will be replaced next month with something newer, you know, different airflow, or an adaptation, or an RVA deck or something, or as in this case, I say it started off with 1 deck, then it went to an improved deck, then it went to the velocity deck, and I think you can probably still buy it in all of those guises. But obviously, why would you go for an RVA deck that wasn't a velocity style deck? Because at least on this you can get a couple of coils on it, decent size, not massive, you're not going to get massive coils. I mean, those are 2.5 meter 2.5 millimeter, those coils are wrapped around a 2.5 millimeter bit. Here I go, still on the coil, look, 2.5 millimeters, or 25 in Chinese. So that's where we were, and it was 28, so 28 gauge Canthal, 11 wraps, and it's coming out, oh, it's saying 0.96 now. Okay, so it's 0.96 on here. So let's kick it off at 25 watts. So don't close the juice off, ugly. I'll take it down to 3.7 for all of you that may be interested in 3.7. 3.71, 14.3 watts, 3.71 volts. If I'll be quick enough, there you go. So 14.3 watts. So we probably get a mouth to lung on that one quite easily. Close the airflow off. Mouth to lung. Mouth to lung on a sub-ohm tank quite easily. I'll take it up to 25 watts. Well, I'll take it to 5 volts, because 25 watts is 4.9 something volts. So 5 volts is 26 watts. There you go, 5 volts, 26 watts. I'll open the airflow up to halfway. You can see that. Stainless steel's not great, is it? There you go, halfway on the airflow. .26 watts on a almost 1 ohm coil. That's a 70-30 juice, and they're not whack tanksy Claptons or fused Claptons, Aliens, Tractors, Caterpillars, whatever. They're just ordinary 28 gauge Clapton Canthal coils. So I shall whack it up to 35. And open the airflow right up. 35 watts is giving us 5.8 volts. let's give it a go. What's not to like? Flavour's good. Cloudage is not bad. It's simple. It comes apart completely, apart from that top bit with the side filter. That's the same on all side fillers. As much as can come off it comes off it. It's easy to clean. It's easy to keep clean. It's easy to build on. Once you get the knack of it, it's easy to wick. So yeah, that's the OBS Crius. And I've been Dave, the Fugly Vapor. Thank you very much indeed for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, leave me a like down there. Subscribe would be great. So yeah, have yourselves a good day. More importantly, have yourselves a damn good vape. And I'll see you in the next one.